Like many local artists and Wintec veterans, Lisa Benson has a master's qualification in the sweet science of FA. She's what we uninitiated and under-theorised types tend to think of as bloody intimidating. A profound thinker and proponent of her art that's not afraid to have the odd drink and get down and dirty with the plebeians. My own formative memories of Miss Benson were crystallised through a haze of questionable smoke, quality home brew, and impeccably selected wines as we supped with a movie star and talked of bronze immortalisation. Since then, Lisa has plied her craft in some of the most uncompromisingly totalitarian countries in the world: Bosnia and Herzegovina, Korea, China, and Australia. She is currently researching the legend of Monkey, that highly influential 80s TV show that confused a generation. Lisa Benson.
Suzuki Roshi says, there is no answer to what it is, because nothing exists independently, but rather exists only through everything else. And who can understand everything else? The brain doesn't know the difference between what it sees and the environment and what it remembers. We are all living in a holodeck. I'm thankful that my brother was the one in control of the TV remote. I watched Joe 90, The Tomorrow People, Thunderbirds, Blake 7, Star Trek, of course, with my favourite Spock, Jean-Luc Picard, or was it Dana, the empath, or 7 of 9, the sexy Borg, or Maya, the shapeshifter. They say that we see less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum and hear less than 1% of an acoustic system. Jenny Holzer says, learn to trust your own eyes. The brain processes 80 billion bits of information in a second, and we're only aware of about 130 of those. Most of us are aware of the environment, our bodies, and about time. My teacher tells me we need to learn to get out of the way. What there is of me needs to get out of the way, to service the moment. In this world, there are only two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. 90% of the cells in my body carry their own microbial DNA. I'm only 10% human. The Earth and all of us travelling at 220 kilometres per second. I still believe the only constant in the universe is change, becoming interdependent with immediate manifestations, generative experiences of existence, continuously coming up to date, the stillness that is dynamic, the quality of being present in this moment now, the weight of the body. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he will tell you the truth. The atoms in your body are 99.999% of empty space, and none of them are ones you were born with. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, and too short for those who rejoice. The only way is just to be yourself on each moment, to be concentrated on what we do completely, to live each moment in complete combustion. Listen when your body talks. I used to wonder how the cells in my body remembered how to behave after a night's sleep. How do they stick together in the same pattern, repeating the ways I walk and talk? It's habit, like breathing. You cannot have good breathing unless you have good posture, and good breathing means to take inhaling and exhaling with your whole body and mind. Humans have the ability to mentally time travel, memory and futurizing. We throw ourselves backwards and forwards in time. We experience time perceptively and retrospectively. The square kilometre array will survey the sky more than 10,000 times faster than ever before, mapping 1 billion galaxies out to the edge of the observable universe. That might help us to know what's out there, but in here, it's still an experience and it's still this person's perception of being real. An occultation is when one thing passes in front of the other. Humans make up stories about them, and astronomers use the data to work stuff out. I feel like I'm living not so much in passing in front or behind other celestial bodies, but kind of bumping into them. Osmosis, information and data gathering, stories, ideas, adding into my soup. Layering, folding, taking things in, adding to the microbes. There is no true self, no Lisa Benson, just a simultaneous rupture, a geographic unconscious, speculative, machinic, in conversation with cybernetics, an assemblage, a multitude, just a human becoming. So I sit, and I do sit, we sit, and through this sea of microbes that aren't me, with limited awareness of seeing and hearing, and hardly any awareness of what my brain is actually processing, I sit, watching my breathing, just experiencing just this. Getting out of the way, getting Lisa Benson out of the way, connected and belonging. Does this create time, space, elasticity, redundancy, repetition? Can the after affect the before, with micro-moving and pre-articulation, with times, loops, and always regenerating, connected and the same? Back to breathing, and feeling just a few of those billions of bits of information, feeling what I can, simple things, the space in the body, the weight of this form. Back to breathing, feeling what I can, simple things, the space in the body, the weight of this form. Think about what makes you happy, what makes you really happy. Can you feel the physiological responses rising in your body? Let those sensations flood through you, the chemistry of those sensations. Watch your breath. I practice to remind myself there is more to living than a habitual repetition of things I've done before, more than the self-deprecating talk, the judgments, the criticisms. I practice to let change be. I practice to fully feel the chemistry that rises in this body. I want to be aware. I want to serve the moment. This is lofty, and this is easy. I just have to get out of the way. I just have to get Lisa Benson out of the way, to invite the becoming that is rich and alive and possible in each moment. And from William Burroughs in Naked Lunch, you were not there for the beginning, you are not there for the end. Your knowledge of what is going on can only be superficial and relative. But I think if you take anything seriously enough, it puts the responsibility squarely in your lap.
I told you she was bloody intimidating.